Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. We are honored today to have Khalil with us. And Khalil, you just joined us recently, right?
Yes, sir. About 7 months ago.
About 7 months ago. Well, again, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit, like, what kind of got you interested in starting in real estate?
So interesting story. There's a TikTok.
Okay.
It's the #1 way to be wealthy: invest in real estate.
Got it.
But
All
when I
right.
was that, I thought, how can I be a successful investor? Because at this point, I was in college. I was taking psychology and Spanish classes. Didn't want to be a therapist. So I thought the best way to be an investor is to learn about real estate.
Got it.
Thus,
You went and got your license.
yeah.
Joined us. Been going through training.
Yeah.
How's training been so far?
It's been fantastic.
Good.
My mentor, Christy, I would learn nothing without her. I swear I would not be where I'm at. It is like,
Well, it's always great to have those people with experience in your life, especially when you're starting something new, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, okay, I think you have a property under contract, or have you had a closing yet?
I have 2 right now.
2 under contract?
Yeah.
All right, tell us a little bit about that.
So the first
Where did
one-
those folks come from?
Okay, yeah. So my very first one was an open house.
Okay.
A couple from California, they just popped through the open house. And this is their first tour ever. I got it through the entire house and got a buyer contract. Buyer contract.
Awesome. So did you connect with them immediately in terms of like, all right, we're here to look at this house, but now we're also looking for an agent? I mean, how did that conversation go?
It was one of my first conversations, so it was sort of rocky.
Okay.
But we literally stood there and talked at the open house for about 40 minutes about
And there was a
houses.
connection.
Yeah, literally.
Good.
It was easy.
Did you do anything else with them that day? Did you go and like meet? Did they sign agency?
No, none of that. I scheduled a meeting with them.
Follow up?
Yeah, that next Sunday, I think.
Okay,
And
got it.
Got it all done.
Nice, love it. And then you started the process.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about your second contract. Where did those clients come from?
So my second one, it was a close friend. I've known him pretty much all my life.
Okay.
Just went to his wedding, and wedding house next to
Yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah.
It's funny, life events will cause real estate needs regardless of the market, right?
Literally.
Yeah, absolutely. So who else do you know is getting married in your world? Because you're of that age, I'm sure a lot of your folks are like starting to head down that path, right?
Yeah,
So think
yeah,
about
yeah,
your future
close.
deals, what this might look
That
like.
is very true. But as of right now, nobody. I know a couple in like an 8-year relationship, but I
Okay.
think they're gonna move to Florida. So
All right, well, you can get a referral fee off
Yeah,
that one, right?
exactly.
Help them with it, yeah, find a great agent for them down there.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so thinking about what you've learned so far from being a real estate agent, a broker, helping clients, what have you learned in that process that can also carry over to you wanting to learn more about real estate investing?
So location is everything, honestly. If your location is bad, property's not going to rise in value. That is #1 thing, in my opinion. How do you feel about that?
Well,
Since
I think
you are an actual investor.
Yeah, I think location is important in anything, right? But I think there's more to the equation on that
Okay.
too, right? But location is definitely key. Even if we're not looking at it from an investment standpoint, the properties with the best location and the best condition usually get quick sales and higher prices, right?
Exactly.
And for the buyers, they're more attractive to buyers too, right? Because that location means something to them, whether it's like where that property is actually located in connection with like what their day-to-day lives look like, or commutes, or activities that they do, or things their kids might be doing. I think that location matters a lot too.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're on the right track, so it's all good. All right, so have you ever thought about kind of when in the process of like you've got two buyers who are under contract on 2 different properties? Did you kind of put on your investor hat a little bit and analyze those properties from like an investment standpoint?
100%.
What did you discover in that? Would they be good investments?
So the first one is a new construction.
Okay.
I don't really know much about new constructions and investing in them, but in my opinion, it would be a great investment because it's on the tip of Statesville, and a lot of people are trying to get out of Charlotte, get out of the busy, chaotic life, Thus, I think it would be a great location, and it's sort of secluded, not really, but sort of secluded.
Far enough out, but not too far.
Yeah, exactly. You
Okay.
still have all your necessities
conveniences
around.
right
Yeah.
around, okay.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes new construction is attractive to some investors simply because it's a new house.
Yeah.
With new functioning things like new roof, new HVAC. They know they're not gonna have to go in typically and make like a major like capital improvement or investment in that property right away.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if it's got all the other things that you just mentioned, which are typically tied to location, that can drive what they get for rents.
All goes back to location.
There you go, goes back to location. All right, so you've analyzed these two contracts so far. Are you doing anything else, like at kind of looking at properties from like purely an investor standpoint?
No, honestly, I should though. I really should.
I think it's a great way to get involved.
Yeah.
And learn more.
I'm looking to get my first investment property in maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
So I should probably start looking now.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, here's something that I think is really important. A lot of times we won't take action on something until we feel we're ready. In this case, you know, if you think you're gonna be financially ready maybe in a year and a half to, you know, buy that first investment, what you may discover is like, okay, I'm financially ready, but where are the houses?
Yeah.
Right? And kind of like you're starting two different things, but separately, and it just prolongs the process. It might make a lot more sense to really start analyzing properties now, at least get to know areas, locations, values, what are values doing, what are rents doing, kind of get used to the market that way, because that will benefit you. Guess what? It may move that timeline up.
Yeah. Huh. Just opened up my world. Right
There you go. Well, I mean, we're making a little bit of a coaching call here today too, but I really wish like all of us as realtors, we didn't look at every appointment as simply the appointment to help that person. Yeah, yes, we want to help that person, but what would it look like, for example, if we were going on a listing appointment and we analyzed that listing from two different perspectives? Yeah, about putting it on the market, you know, the net sheet for the seller, what would they gain? But also, would that be a good property for me to consider as an investment property? If I went into the conversation from two different perspectives, how much more powerful would the conversation be?
10 times more powerful.
Now we're talking about conversion too, right?
Yeah.
It could open up opportunity for us, but could it also then allow us to have at least an idea of properties or a general area that we could then come back and create a buyer, sort of an investor buyer list of off-market properties. Maybe that property doesn't come on the market immediately, but we've had that appointment. And if we then create new investors in real estate as an opportunity for us, we already have an idea of where those properties are. So there's like the second fold approach of why it's important to kind of analyze the market as a new agent. Really as any agent,
Very true.
right?
Yeah, wow. Just keep opening up my brain.
Well, sometimes it's the perspective shifts that we need
Yeah.
that will kind of really help us move forward faster.
And whenever I get my first listing, I will definitely take that approach.
Well, and we're here to help with that if you need that help. What kind of words of wisdom would you give somebody that maybe is a few steps behind you in the journey? They're just getting started now, or maybe they're even in the process of getting a license. What advice would you give them to get started?
It is hard. It is costly. It is hard, but keep going.
Yeah.
That is the one thing. If you just keep going, you're going to succeed eventually.
Is training important?
100%.
Is the environment where you affiliate important?
100%. The people who surround you.
Yeah, exactly. What about, you talked about mentors, you talked about coaches, you talked about, you know, I'm kind of giving some ideas here just from knowledge and experience. All of this matters. And when you get a really strong group around you, that no matter what you're asking, there's somebody there that's got the answer because that's their area of focus and expertise, how much more confident are you to move forward?
There's not even a number to express.
Right, exactly. It's like you get to borrow our experience,
Exactly.
You're borrowing our knowledge, you're borrowing our confidence while you're building your own.
Yeah. The amount of times where during the transaction I've had a question and I was able to reach out to 3 separate people and get that question answered is insane.
And to be honest, it's in my almost 25 years now of being in real estate, and most of that here at Keller Williams, this is how my journey has been as an agent, as a leader, both of helping agents, but there's been other leaders that have helped me in the journey to make me not just better at like real estate, but just a better leader.
Yeah.
How do we help people? And that really, I've always, for me, the last probably 15 years, has always been, how do I help more people? Whether it's real estate clients, whether it's real estate agents, I want to help more people. that became my mission.
Heart of a servant.
That's it.
I like it.
And I have a big goal before I retire. It's helping a lot more people.
What's your goal?
It's kind of a crazy one. Geez, nobody asks me questions on these videos, but I'm kind of glad you did. I had it really kind of about a year ago. I had this kind of realization because I kind of looked at it and I go, in my leadership journey of agents that I've coached, and a lot of brand new agents coming into the business, a lot of agents that have kind of grown their businesses into like teams and team structures, and agents that I've recruited into Keller Williams, we're talking thousands, literally thousands. And in my head, I go, what would it look like if I set a goal to still help 5,000 more agents?
5,000 more.
Why
How long do you
not?
think that would take?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
That's true.
As long as I'm able to do it, I'm like, just keep doing it. Keep helping.
100%.
I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And any final thoughts or anything you want to say to anybody?
No, just thank you for having me, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Of course.